Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday.
Good morning. Good morning.
Good morning. How are you doing today? Thank you so much. Yes, happy birthday. Come here.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you. Ba-ba-doom, ba-ba-boom, ba-ba-doom. I love you, Queen. Happy birthday.
Thank you.
Birthday.
Thank you. Yes. I'm not getting older. I'm getting better.
Oh, yeah.
I'm growing in.
Oh, look at the hearts come up. Oh, look at this. So sweet. How'd you do that?
I think it does it when you do this.
Oh my God, look at that. See? you doing magic already.
It's in your settings, and it's there. Like I think if you do this, you can send up thumbs and stuff. Yeah.
Okay, somewhere I gotta set it up. You gotta show me.
It's in your settings. Anyways, I know what's different about you today. It's like, what's different about Barb? I really like your hair. You don't have your glasses on.
I don't have my glasses on. I know. I've been trying to see what I can do without the glasses.
Okay. You know, see, with me, when I take mine off, I can see, but heaven forbid I couldn't read. And plus now, my new red glasses.
Yeah, I like them. I see them.
New red glasses. And I don't need my distance glasses anymore, but they're just for the computer. Just this little distance here is all I need them for. So but now they've become part of my
your brand. Yeah, your brand. But you know, this is so the reason with not the glasses, because you know sometimes like, okay, why is what's going on? So I have reading glasses. Like I have my glasses here, right? And for the last 2 weeks now, talking about miracles and stuff, that I've been reading better without them than with them. For some reason, I know my eyes, I don't know what's going on, but I can see a little bit more clearly now. So I was like, okay, let me just do a week and see what happens without the glasses. And so far, it's been really, I don't know. It's like it's
isn't that the funniest thing?
Yeah.
Like, so I can't wear my distance. I don't wear my distance glasses. The same thing happened to me, but in my distance.
Oh, see that? Yeah, it's just all of a sudden it's like, wow. So I'm like, yeah. So you could see my, and some people are saying just like you, they're like, wait a minute, I'm not used to you.
It's something different. I knew there was something different, but it says like takes you a minute to see what it is. But anyway, so yes. So today, Oh, don't we love technology that you had to reboot? Oh, we just,
It's my friend. As soon as we're always open here. As soon as myself and Queen Barbara on the other side was about to we had everything rolling. We're like, okay, here we go.
We are on time.
On time, everything. I mean, it was beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. And then all of a sudden, I get this big old thing across my thing. You need to reboot now, and it was counting down. So it was doing its own reboot. It's like, okay, if you don't reboot, we're going to reboot for you.
Right. So you may as well. You're right. Oh, I know. But it just shows though, is that you and I. This is a moment of resilience, because, and that's what happens so often to people. Something will happen, and it can be something inconsequential, or it can be something a little bit more major. The thing is that, and this is and I talk about this all the time, it's not what happens to you. You have no control over what happens. The only thing you have control over is how you respond, how you react. So we had a choice, you can be upset and come on and just be, I can't believe this happened. It's like, yeah, no, we laugh. Yeah, because we love technology when it works. And because I love technology. I don't ever want to be without it. So for those times where it kind of acts up, okay, thanks. Yeah, I'll love it when it acts up too.
Another opportunity to learn and grow.
Exactly. It's another opportunity to grow, to learn and to grow. What did you learn from it? Like yesterday, I had an appointment with a gal, and I was just sitting. I was just while I was waiting on Zoom for her to come, which is one of the reasons why I do Zoom. I can do other things while I'm waiting, because I had Zoom up beside me, and I was still working on a few things, which I'll have to tell you I'm very proud of. I learned something new to do yesterday. Anyways. And then she finally came on and she was like, oh, Barb, I am so sorry that I am so late. I have been trying for the last 20 minutes to get on Zoom.
Wow.
She said, my husband was on Zoom this morning, had horrible time with it. And she said, we have no idea what. And then all of a sudden it kicked in and everything was hunky-dory again. So, and I just said, hey, Marcy, it's all good, because been there, done that. And I said, and I was here working. I was doing other stuff while I was waiting. So it's not like I was sitting there just twiddling my thumbs kind of thing, which is also a lesson. If you are waiting for something, if you're waiting for something to happen, then just wait. Do something else. Like with me, I always have crochet beside me. So if I am sitting waiting, I'll just work on my crochet. It's like, and it's all in how you handle whatever happens to you.
Yeah, and one thing I always tell people, I'm glad you said that, Barbara. That's awesome. Is we always have something else to do. It's not like you said, you're sitting there like, okay, well, I'm waiting on Barbara, so I'm do. Right. It gives me a time to say to myself, okay, let me see if I can complete something quick. Something that's on my little list of to-dos while I'm waiting on this individual. Now, I'm not saying, okay, to always be late for something if you can avoid it. But there's a lot of times that you, just like today, where I couldn't avoid doing the rebooting. And, it gives you time to say, okay, well, let's see what else I can get done while I'm waiting. Yeah.
Or like with me, I'm a positive intelligence coach. One of the things is that I'll do some of my brain exercises that you don't have to do something specific. Sometimes I'll just sit and just have a quiet moment. Take that moment to just be quiet and see if there's something in that needs to come out, because everything that we need in our lives is within us.
Yes.
So if you're upset about something, what's in there? It's coming from somewhere. So if you are having a time when it's like, okay, I need to spend some time in quietness and just see and let the emotion come up. Let the emotion come up, because that is it's number one, it's a cleansing. And sometimes what's funny is when I allow, and it's allow you. Okay, so I'm talking to somebody here. So I'm looking right in the camera. Allow yourself to feel those emotions. Allow yourself to feel them. However, if you run into trouble with it, seek help. Absolutely. Talk to someone about it. Those emotions are coming from somewhere, and chances are they came from something that happened when you were a child. So true.
Yeah.
The thing is, though, sometimes just let them up and let them go. And one of the exercises that I do is I will just be sitting there and it'll be starting to come up, and it's like, okay, what am I going to do with this? Okay, well, I put it into a mental balloon, one of those hot air balloons that's tied to the ground. I put them all, I visualize them as rocks, throwing them into the basket of the hot air balloon. And once I've got all of those rocks out of me that I've been dragging along, metaphorically, visually, put them in the hot air balloon, and then I chop off the ropes that are holding the balloon to the ground, and I let them go away. It is such a powerful exercise when you can really just get into it. And that's one of the things that I help people to do. I'll do a deep meditation with them. Okay, what are you feeling? What is that anger, doubt, fear, frustration? Put them into a mental rock. I either put them up in the balloon or I throw them over the abyss. So they're into the deepest ocean. It's exercises like that. And people go, oh, Barbara, really? Seriously? And they look at me like, seriously? Yeah, try it.
Yeah.
Because sometimes we just have to get it out of our body. We don't even necessarily know what it is. We just know we're angry. We just know we're frustrated. Something's triggered us. Okay, let it go. Hey, you're talking to no, I'm not a former. I'm a recovering emotion stuffer.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's wrong with you that you're feeling upset? We'll just stuff it down. What's wrong with you that you're feeling angry? We'll just stuff it down. And let's stuff. Well, guess what? All of those emotions are going to come out somewhere. They're either going to come out as a pain in your neck, literally, a pain in your neck. It'll come out as cancer. It'll come out as some kind of a disease. It'll come out as you'll explode.
Yeah.
You'll be known as witchy witch. And it is so important. So that's my birthday wish to you today, is that you have a day. Like for me, I started celebrating on Sunday. Went out for dinner with my son and his girlfriend. Monday, went out for lunch with my girlfriend. Yesterday, myself out for a snack, and it was like, I don't feel like cooking. So my birthday days, I'm going myself out. And today I'm going out for breakfast after the show. So it's like, you know what? So I'm having 4 days of birthday.
And a lot of people celebrate those sometimes the whole month or the whole year.
A friend of mine did her when she turned 30. She had 30 days of being 30. She had 30 days to turn 30. She celebrated her whole birthday month of when she turned 30. And it was just hysterical. And her husband went along with it. And all of us, we all did stuff for her birthday.
Yeah, because you only had that one. I mean, every year you make that mark every year, and why not? I mean, there's no definition. There's nothing in the wherever saying you have to just do it that one day.
Yep. And I love it. And I'm not going to do a party or anything this year, but next year I will, because next year I'm turning 75. So it'll be like, I'm going to have a party.
A milestone. I love those milestones.
So, why not? So, wanted to share a couple of things that also happened on today.
Okay.
Edmund Hillary and Tenzing Norgay reached the top of Mount Everest in 1953.
Oh, wow.
They got to the top of Mount Everest. This is 1968. The U.S. passed the Truth in Lending Act. Hasn't that been a blessing? The truth in lending, that the companies that lend money, they have to tell the truth. It helps to get rid of the quick scams. there are still scams out there.
Oh, I'm about to say.
There are still a lot of scams out there, especially now. Don't you find now that, I mean, I don't want to get on a soapbox, but all the new currency that they're trying to, the bank with the new dollar and the new cryptos, and it's like, okay, fine, and I think there's good and bad in everything.
Mhm.
There are going to be some really good ones, but there's going to be some really shady ones too. I think it's our job to
To
be
yeah,
discerning. And anyways,
definitely.
but in 1996, this was a little bit of a sad one. Superman actor Christopher Reeve had his accident.
Yeah.
But yeah, but 1996 just seems like yesterday. I remember talking about that, and he went on, but he got to the point where he said that it was the best thing that ever happened to him because of the growth that he went. He wasn't just an actor; he became a philanthropist and a humanitarian, and he did so many things after his accident. Once he dealt with the fact that he had the accident, that was a growth process. But then he is quoted as saying, he said, "Yeah, this happened. This happened to me to make me do this." And there were several things that he had talked about that he was doing. But in 1999, the space shuttle Discovery was the first docking on the International Space Station. 1999.
1999, huh? Okay.
Yeah, 1999. So you just kind of like and of course, but then I loved this one, and I remember this. Isn't this sad? 1980, USA, Dallas. Who shot JR? Remember that whole campaign? Who shot JR?
OMG, Barbara, that was like took over. It seemed like that took over the 1980s to me.
Dallas, absolutely.
That is, you know what that tells you?
History.
And you know what? Whoever, like the producers, directors, and everything of that show, think about it, Barbara.
Yeah.
That was like an incredible thing that they did, because when you think about it, how they took that show just with JR, Who Shot JR, and made a huge
Larry Hagman of I Dream of Jeannie.
Of him, well, just of him, but just the brand, the whole thing. I mean, I'm looking at it as a business type of thing, and how they
big
just
shoulders.
Yeah,
it changed women's fashion.
It just changed the whole thing about how you can take one thing,
right,
and make it and blow it up. Now, if it was social media days, because at that time we didn't have a whole social media,
we didn't.
Look at how huge it was.
They were the social media giant of the 80s, really, Dallas.
Yeah, that was it. That was Who Shot JR. I mean,
Who Shot JR. I thought you would get a kick out of that one.
Yeah, it blows my mind every time I think about it. And you brought it up. I was like, wow. Yeah.
Yep.
I mean, people stop that. See, when you think about it, Barbara, that was bigger than some of the things that was going on that you should have been like really in tune with. Yeah,
exactly.
But it was all about Who Shot JR. And I was so upset about when we found out who it was and how it really happened. I'm like, really?
But you know what? It shows you the power of a story.
That's what I'm talking about. Yeah.
The power of a story.
Yeah.
And that's why okay, so I'm going to get on my soapbox another time again. If you have a story that you have lived through, that you have survived, that you have come out on the other side of it, you need to tell your story. Mm-hmm. Because for somebody else that might be going through the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, JR, Who Shot JR? But you know what? Those are cliffhangers. Well, our life, our own personal life, in some way is cliffhanger. We don't know what's going to happen tomorrow. We don't know what's going to happen next week. It's a cliffhanger. So enjoy the process. Like we've laughed over who shot JR, you know, but that's how our life can be too. And because we all have things that happen to us. But find out what else are people talking about that you
Yeah.
can help with, you know, and
And it's funny when just one more thing about JR is that, like you said, tell your story, because
story.
you know how powerful that is for people. I mean, think about it. With that, people told their own story within that story of who shot JR. I mean, people was really living this.
Yes, this
This whole
is, I mean, a nighttime soap opera.
And people were living that. I mean, people were stopping. They were like, no, I have to see this no matter what. So is that in tune with your story? Are people stopping? Are people learning? Are people growing from what you went through? Because I always tell people, you didn't go through something just because. You went through something because not to only help yourself grow and move and motivate, but also to help others. Yeah.
Exactly. And that's what this show is all about. And I have to tell you, I am now booking this show into August. We have people that are coming on this show, and they're so excited about coming on the show. And
that just puts a smile on my face.
Yeah. And one of them, I'm going to give her a little bit of a plug. Her name is Marcy Sudok, and she is a conductor, but she also is, and you are going to love this. She also has a nonprofit where she uses music to reach children. I said, well, Barbara's going to definitely have you on her show also. She said, ooh, that would be wonderful. So I will introduce you to her. But she's a conductor with, like with some of the big, and I'm not going to steal her thunder with some of the orchestras that she has conducted.
Wow.
But how she has taken her gift and moved the world with it.
Wow.
You know, and that's why some of the famous people that were born today. John F. Kennedy was born today, 1970. John F. Kennedy. You know, some of these famous people, some of them are still alive, some of them are gone from us. But you know what? They all made an impact. Yes. And Marcy is one of those people. She is making an impact on the world of not only music, but of the children that she's teaching. Because so often, one of the things that I was just talking to her the other day, and I met her on another event, and I went, oh yeah, I've got to talk to this girl. And I immediately, as soon as I met her the first time, I went, okay, Marcy, do you want to come on my podcast? I mean, she's talking about her gift, because children are our next leaders. The children of today are our leaders of tomorrow.
Yeah.
And how she was talking about so many kids have all their emotions so bottled up. She teaches them how to release them through music.
Wow.
Play what you're feeling. And she said she can tell within a couple of notes what they're feeling. So powerful. And when I was listening to her, I said, well, that's why you can tell. I was just like, oh, wow. Of how music, because that's one thing you and I have talked about before. If I'm feeling a little down, I put on Chubby Checker and do the twist. Because it gets your body moving and it gets you out of the, my mom used to always call them the doldrums. Just gets you out of the doldrums. And, you know, it's so important to do that. But sometimes you need an outside stimulus to do it. So
yeah, I can't wait for her to come on, especially, and you know me and music.
Exactly.
So that's amazing for the children. I love that. But before we go on, we're gonna give our sponsor a little love, and then
yes, absolutely. And then we'll talk about what I did to get more visibility, because that's your wheelhouse.
We'll be right back.
Raise your hand if you've ever been busy. Raise your hand if you've ever got tired and feel like you just need a couple days off. Most people would have both hands up right now. That's our world, fast-paced and income-driven. That's why we get caught up in our own lives so often, and that's why it's understandable when most people don't focus on worries that aren't their own. So what makes someone become a humanitarian? Someone whose whole life focuses on the welfare of other humans.
When you go back and you see kids that were living on the streets. Kids had no structure, they had no routine. People who had nothing, they didn't have meals. When you see that they're all of a sudden they're waking up, they have structure, they have something to do, they have a meal in their belly, their life changes completely. They like I said, their self-esteem changes, their self-worth, their ability to know who they are in the world and what they have the potential of becoming. You know, to give that hope, to give that dream, and then to watch people actually use that to do good for themselves and others it's amazing. It becomes an addiction.
And with Serena's help, we'll find the meaning of life to a humanitarian.
Wow. That is such a powerful video. And it's so true.
Yeah, it is so true. So true. So thank you, Serena, for always being there with the children, just showing the meaning of life, how important it is to take every day and just help, you know, the people that are in need. So thank you, Serena. Exactly. And now we're back. If you're just coming on, this is the Time to Shine Happiness Show with the lovely, wonderful BBs, myself, Barbara J. Beckley, and Barbara.
We didn't introduce ourselves.
Ellison. Well, I was.
Because we went right into birthday bash.
And we went, and you know, just to let everybody know, if you just, like I said, just coming in, it is Mrs. Barbara Ellison's birthday. So we're just celebrating that with her joyous self. And Barbara, you want to do a little introduction? I know you want to talk about some visibility stuff, so let's get right into it.
So I'm Barbara Ellison, you know, and one of the things I truly believe that each and every one of us, you know, deserves to lead a happy, healthy, debt-free, abundant life. Okay, so but part of that is sometimes we need help to do it. And we need to know that there are other places out there to help and do that. So one of the things that my girlfriend Carol and I, well, several of us, we all do, it's called the Deluxe Network Program. And it's all about getting visibility for your people. In fact, Barb, I've been remiss. I've got to get you more into it. Of just getting visibility for what you do. So anyways, so Carol and I have been really wanting to help people to get more visible about it and to find out more about it, because it's all about the supply chain of what do you do that can impact the world? Whether you're a coach, or do you grow? Are you a farmer? Do you make honey? Do you have chickens that people can get eggs? You know, remember when everything got shut down and there were places the stores had nothing. Well, this is one of the things that our deluxe. It's called People for People, and we are really trying to get the word out that we are a community, that we want to have local communities and national communities. Like with me, my business is all online. So I'm part of the national community because I can do business anywhere. But anyway, so why I went with this is we had a little bit of a challenge to get how to get more visible about doing our Deluxe Network program. So Carol, my girlfriend Carol and I, and she's been on this show. I'll have to bring her on again. Anyways, but we were doing, it's like, what are we going to do? So, well, we really need to do a landing page. Well, how do we do a landing page? Well, okay, but you know what? Canva, I'm going to give Canva. I know you love Canva. You love Canva as much as I love Canva. Mm-hmm. Well, they have a new thing that you can build a website on Canva. Mm-hmm. So guess what we learned how to do yesterday was we put out we made a little website on Canva. It has a link that works. It has a QR code that works. And it is going to be all about getting visibility for the Deluxe Network program. Mm-hmm. So that was our biggest thing. Because, you know, you talk about visibility all the time. Mm-hmm. So what's the best? So now what's the best? So now I'm going to pick your brain. I have given it to my VA. So she's going to promote it out on my socials. But what's the best way, or what's ways that somebody who is just starting can get visibility?
Well, first of all, I'm so proud of you and Carol to find out about the Canva way with that, because Canva is adding so much when it comes to creating things to be visible. And I always tell people, you always want to start off with your brand. And what do I always say with your brand is, you are your brand. one thing people, I don't care what AI and stuff does, you're always going to have to build relationships with people. Period.
Right.
So
Exactly.
always want to build relationships, and how you do that is how you come out and you speak and you talk to people. I know a lot of people say, well, I put, little quotes on social media, and I'll put a little saying or something like that, but people want to know who you are. People want to know who Barbara Ellison is. So I always tell people, start off with that, and it can be like 1 minute. Hey, my name is da 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 da. I love to help people in this, and what Barbara and Carol is doing. She can say that. Come into my world. I'm going to tell you more about my world as I go every day. So that's what I tell people. Start off with you. Just a little bit of your story. Just like that little cliffhanger that we're talking about. I'll come bring back up. Who shot JR?
You are right.
Who is Barbara Ellison? I'm just using you as an example. When it comes to visibility. A lot of people say, well, I got to make sure I do the campaign drip, and I got to do, and I'm not saying not to. I always teach even my clients how to do that. But I always want to start them off with, let them know who you are. Give them that little taste of you first.
Right.
That's where I would start off at. Yeah.
Yeah. Because and I think I think what you said is give them a little taste of you. Who are you? I've had a little bit of a, not crisis, but a little reorganization, because so often, I even caught myself in it this week of trying to be somebody that I wasn't. I should be doing that because so-and-so is doing that. Yeah. No, even and it came out for me in my wording of who I want to work with. So I had heard, like, oh, well, we need to talk to high achieving entrepreneurs and stuff. And I was like, and I started with that, and I went, Barbara, no, I want heart-centered entrepreneurs. I want people who are heart-centered, who want to make a difference in the world. So I think that's one of our biggest things is start with who you are. Who do you want to work with?
Yes. Yeah, because and just to say that, Barbara, just this weekend for me, I've been doing a lot of soul searching in that area. Like you said, who do I really want to work? And what do I bring today? What are my expertise? What do I like to do where I want to work with somebody and it will gel together? I like doing it and they need it. And that's what I was thinking about. And I found out a lot of things, some of the things that I was putting on my like little pillars in my umbrella of the Diamond Factor Network, I really didn't like doing it no more. I was like, this is something I'm doing it. Why? I had to ask myself, okay, Barbara, if you don't like doing it, why is it under your pillar of umbrella? And it went to the point, Barbara, it was because I seen other people, saying maybe you should do this, so this would be a good thing under your whatever. And I'm sitting there like, but I don't like doing this. I said, I know it's a part of visibility, but this is not what I want to teach when it comes to visibility, because visibility is huge. There's a whole thing, right? So I'm getting to the point, Barbara, and this is how big this was for me. I said, okay, I have one client. I signed on somebody to do something that I really didn't want to do, but I was doing it because I know how to do it. And I was like, okay, I want to help them. I'm getting to the point, I'm going to tell them because I have to be true to them. See, this is where you have to, and I'm going to basically tell them, not saying I can't do this, but this is not in my wheelhouse anymore under my umbrella. And I'm even going to give them back their investment that they paid me.
Well, yeah.
I want to make sure that they get what they need.
Right.
Out of the person that really is engulfed in doing what I was doing. So that's huge. And some people would be like, what? They just paid me and now I got to give them money back? Okay, who do you care? Do you care about you in your pocketbook right now? Or you cared about that signed on with you, knowing that you were going to give them everything that you got out of that? And I don't feel like that. I wouldn't feel right. I don't feel right by being half stuff. So that's how huge this change was for me, is I'm going to the point of telling them, you know what? Right. I want to make sure you're getting everything you need.
Right. Because when I do, you and I, we talk about so often, do the things that make your heart sing.
Mm-hmm.
Do those things that make you feel alive. Well, there are people out there that love what you just said you don't like doing.
Mm-hmm.
So if you're doing it, you're taking the spot of somebody who loves to do it,
Yes.
and the person in the middle is the client.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. Because if it's not what absolutely cranks you up, causes makes your heart sing, then you're not going to. It's not that you're not going to do your best. You and I always do our best.
Mm-hmm.
However, it's not with the love that somebody who really likes to do it, because they know they go beyond.
Yes.
They go beyond because they're always thinking about it. They love it. Like with me, I'm in personal development. I love learning new things. It's like it just comes out of me. Barb, you're so animated about it. Yeah, because I love doing it.
Mm-hmm.
I love doing it. So consequently, thank you. It shows up in let's find out what you love to do. And that's one of the things that with like in this deluxe network program, the People for People program, I get to do podcasts and I get to do training, because those are two things that I absolutely love to do. And yesterday, I'll brag for 1 second because it's my birthday and I'm allowed to, right? Yesterday, I did one of the trainings. And I was talking about that. I said how I started with People for People was I did workshops and podcasts because I love to do them. And one of the people that was on the training with me said, yeah, you're a natural, because I love to do it.
Love to do it. Yeah.
That's how it comes out. Oh, well, you're a natural. But I didn't start out as a natural. I've learned to be a natural because it was something that I like to do. So find the thing that you like to do and then become a natural at it.
Yes. Yes. Yeah, and that's huge, because that creates this is why I always tell other clients too, that creates you being that expert in that area. Is once you find what you love to do and you're always searching and researching and looking at new things, everything, you are becoming that expert in that field. And that's what and sometimes it's automatically just happens that way, because like you said, you're doing what I love what you say, you're doing what your heart, you're saying, doing what your heart sings. So I always tell people that's what you're creating, expertise. People want to see that, so they'll be like, oh, I want People for People. I know I need to go to Barbara or I need to go to Carol, because they're the expert in my eyes. They're the expert in that area.
Yeah. And it is so cool because that link will take you to Carol's calendar.
Yep.
And then she'll, and then we will get on, and you'll get to, and when you do that, you get to come on and be on a podcast. So if you want to put and this goes out to our entire community, and we have thousands and thousands all across the states, and we're going international, of getting your visibility out there.
Mm-hmm.
And we have everything from plumbers to chiropractors to dentists, and you can become exclusive in your area. Oh, wow. Can you imagine if everybody let's do an example. Say you're a dentist and you can come into our People for People community and you can be exclusive in your area. So everybody in our community who's also in that area can frequent because you're a dentist. Like for me, I happen to be I'm blessed. Some people hate it, but I love being online. I like building my business online because I'm a coach and I can do everything on Zoom. But that's me. Some people go, ooh, I don't like doing Zoom. Okay, then you have a brick and mortar. But you still have to get visibility for what you do. Because one of my favorite sayings is somebody cannot buy from you if they don't know who you are, what you do, who you serve, and why you do it.
Yeah.
Why you do it.
And they got to feel comfortable with you. Like you said, that goes back to building those relationships.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. Because one thing I cannot, that just irks me is I love LinkedIn and I'm using it differently now because I'm pushing more into it. But I don't like when people do that message and I know you know this, Barbara, when they message you on the side and say, "Hi, my name is such and such. I would like to get with you. Let me sell you this and let me sell you that."
I
Da, da,
know,
da, da. And I'm
yeah.
like, "You don't even know who I am, and you're sitting here trying to sell me." No, that's not how to get Barbara Beckley.
Although I
Understand-
have known to turn it around. You know, thank you so much for your kind offer. I already have that covered in my life, but you might be interested in this of what I do.
And what you
You
do, yeah, and get them.
And I will introduce them to the People for People program. You might be interested in this. And so what? It was a message.
Hey, if they're willing to do it, you can send it right back. Like you said, I got podcasts too, and sometimes I do invite them to what I do. So it's still you can change it around, but I just I tell people, please don't try to at least build a little relationship with someone before you just
exactly.
Don't.
I always think of it as just vomiting on them of what you do, and people do it all the time. It's like, no, let's see, or I'll look and see if they are somebody that I would possibly like to know.
Yeah.
If they're possibly somebody that I would like to know, that I would like to have a guest on, if I really like their message, then once in a while, lots of times, I will look to see how many followers they have. If they have a lot of followers, then I know it's their VA that's doing it, and which is fine. Okay, fine. And then I'll connect with them and just say, hey, you know what? And let's get on the calendar with the real person.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely. However, but in general, you are exactly right. It's like,
Yeah, and it just tells me that you don't even want to spend the time to get to know me, and that is sometimes even kind of like, okay, well, if you don't have the time to get to know me just a little bit, then I'm not gonna have the time to get to sit there and research you.
I'm not.
It's just this is how I am. But like you said, there's some things, like you just said, that you might want to reach out. But I just tell people, please build those relationships, because they I'm telling you, once you build them, you don't know what's in store. You don't know what magic will come out of that. Yeah.
Well, it's like, look at when you and I first met. We met through another networking group, Women's Prosperity Network.
Wow.
I heard about you in Florida, came to Chicago and said, oh, Barbara Beckley is just in Wisconsin. It was like an hour and a bit from me. Okay, I'll go there. And that's how you and I met. But we hit it away.
In fact, I, was a chapter leader for them but for the Illinois area. So what I was doing is coming from Wisconsin and doing the monthly sessions with the ladies. And that's where I met this wonderful queen. And I started to say, well, I needed to move on, because sometimes, things you move on in your life. And I told her, I said, I don't know what's happening, but we're going to stay in touch, because there's something. I kept saying, there's something that we need to be doing.
Was it a couple of years, though? It was a year or so. And then all of a sudden it was like, well, you had the net. That's when so it's been now, we're in 5 years that we've been
5 years. I was a chapter leader for 3 years.
Right.
And with Women's Prosperity Network.
I was coming for probably a year.
You were coming consistently, which that just blew my mind. I knew you was one of my cheerleaders. And that's another thing to tell people, when you find people that just are like-minded people around you and that's cheering for you, you're cheering for them, please keep them around, because you never know what's going to happen. And there's a reason why you're all together. So that's what I found out with this lovely queen.
Yeah. And here we are,
look at where
we're in our 5th year.
So, and we're not going to go there. We're not going to tell the story today about how that came about, but let's just say 5 years later.
Yeah, 5 years, here we are. And so, and it's been fun.
It's been really, it's fun.
And so that comes back to be focused on what you want your life to be. Mm-hmm. And take those little baby steps. And please, 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 please don't expect to go from A to Z in one leap. Mm-hmm. Do the small steps.
Mm-hmm.
Do the little steps. Like for me, I started out doing 50-second videos on Instagram.
Mm-hmm.
That's how I started.
Yeah.
And I was petrified. And I would stand there. I mean, heaven forbid, I would stand there with my phone in my hand going, oh, for heaven's sakes, Barbara, it's 50 seconds. Just do it. And I would be sitting, and it would take me 20 minutes to press play, to press go. Because you're like, oh, but what if all of those things? What if they don't? What if people hate it? Well, are you going to die? Am I going to die? And then I would go through. Then, do you know who Mel Robbins is?
Mm-hmm.
The 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 girl.
Yeah.
Countdown girl. She helped me immensely. It was like, okay, Barbara, Mel Robbins, she did it on a live stage. I can do it for 50 seconds on Instagram. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Start talking.
Yeah.
And then not deleting it. You know? And then don't delete it. Because you have to start somewhere. And people think they have to make, so often I hear from my clients and from other people, but what if? Well, what's the worst thing that can happen to you? You know, so what if they don't like it? And you know what? Once you get big enough, there are people that are going to naysay you no matter what you do.
What you do. Yeah. No matter what.
No matter what.
No matter what.
But what if it doesn't work? Okay, and one of my favorite questions now is, okay, where are you going to be a year from now? How old are you going to be a year from now? Well, a year from now, I'm going to be 75. Okay, so now in this year, I can not do, or I can do. Well, it's not going to change the fact that next May 29th, I'm going to be 75. So what am I going to do this year? Nothing's going to change it. So why not do something and have fun doing it?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because it's not going to change you getting older.
Oh, no, it's not.
But it can change the quality of your life.
Yes.
Enjoy
Definitely.
the journey.
Enjoy every second of your journey. Yes. Enjoy it more and more.
Yeah. Like I commend Barbara. Let's just brag on Barbara Beckley here. She started out with one show on a very small network. No, we weren't even on a network.
No,
we weren't even on a network. But then those little steps.
Yeah.
And now there's loads of shows and on a network, and graduating out of one spot on the network to a more major part of the network.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could have done it. But I'm quite I'm going to tell on myself. I'm quite happy to tag along on Barbara's.
Yeah, Barbara, and I love it. See, this is what I'm talking about. Collaboration. I like how you said that.
Collaboration.
And she is, because Barbara, she's under the network,
I'm
the
under
Diamond Factor Network. She's not only under the Diamond Factor Network, which I'm a part of, but she's under E360, which is even more huge. They have even millions of viewers that you can get from. So see how one show that me and Miss Queen here created. Well, she really, yeah, I'll say she created it. I kind of
we created together.
5 years, and then with me saying I want us to get higher. I mean, I was just kept saying, you know what? How does this one show? I want some other show. I want to be that was me.
Right.
Well, I was scared to death. I'm gonna tell you right there, but
you got the hosting bug. You wanted to be a host of other shows. You got the hosting bug.
And to the point where E360, the president said, Barbara, do you know that you are creating a network under yourself? And I'm like, no, I just had a few shows. He said, that's what I'm talking about. You keep adding these shows. So with that, it created a network. And guess what show is part of that still today? And we were growing this show. So you never know what the small seed is going to turn into this beautiful, beautiful flower. And I just, every day when we come on every Wednesday, I just have to just smile and just be so happy and blessed that we're together doing this. So thank you, and especially on your birthday.
Thank you.
This,
awesome. This was a great birthday present.
Yeah. Oh my God, I'm looking at the time, and we're over the time, so we have to. So Barbara, tell your last thing that you always say to everybody.
Let's make happiness the norm rather than the exception. Do something that makes your heart sing, because you deserve to lead a happy, healthy, debt-free, and abundant life. What does that mean for you? Find it, and you will enjoy the journey.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And with that, I'm going to play her video birthday again, and so we end
I
the
love
show. And I just love everybody. Thank you, Queen. Happy birthday to you. Enjoy every minute, every second of the day, because you deserve it. And we will see you back next Wednesday.
Next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday, happy birthday to you.